Hello everyone, I hope you're well. It's been a long time, hasn't it? I must say that a load has happened to me since, and I'm really sorry I'm not doing it in the normal place where I would be doing it. It's because I just made a video that consisted of about 3 different parts, and the light was going because it goes at like 3:30, so it's really dark. So I have just improvised all sorts of lighting. And it's really funny because I don't have like those selfie rings or anything like that, which would come in really useful right now, but I haven't recorded as much. So anyway, half a minute of explanation. I hope you've been well. Happy 2020. I sat another Vipassana course, my 4th Vipassana course, and it was my toughest one yet. And then 2 months later, I decided to go and do Ayahuasca. There's a lot of videos on the differences and also, verses. And I wanted to really show you that my experience hasn't been anything to do with verses. I don't feel that either or is important. I think both of them together work in very beautiful harmony. Ayahuasca, though, I have not really had any knowledge or experience of plant medicines, so this is my first baby kindergarten experience. And I must say a disclaimer as well, I'm not encouraging anybody to do this at all. I'm just saying that about my own experiences, and if you were looking for some maybe background information on both of them and how they affect each other in that context, then maybe this can shed a little light. But please, unless you're called to the medicine, I would say, please, make sure you know you want to do it before you do it. This is not for everyone. This is for a certain path that you want to follow, and it will unearth things about yourself that sometimes are so traumatic that you might not be able to really connect with reality again after that. I certainly went through that. Vipassana the 4th time was extremely hard. It was the hardest I've ever had to experience. I was at a new centre, and I was one of not many people who'd been there before, been and done the actual technique before. So there was a lot of new students, and that can be really challenging because, you've got people that are getting used to this. They're not used to sitting for 10 hours a day meditating. So, and 3 of those being completely still and being in silence. They're not used to that. So to have to accommodate that and to cultivate the patience to do that while you're also going through your own shit is pretty hard. But it was really interesting actually, because talking about that has helped me to understand about why the ayahuasca was and Mother Ayahuasca was so important at the time that it was. After I came out of that 4th Vipassana, I was meditating twice daily. I'd realised, this is it. This is where I want to be. But I'd still gone headfirst into the drinking, smoking route, and I was still, kind of poisoning my body with these things. Still subject to external influences and, peer pressure, all the rest of it. My willpower was shit. So, and for somebody who is able to sit for meditation, their willpower being shit, there's something going on there. And I knew that this was the cause of my depression. This was the real root, probably not consciously, but this was it. And then I had already planned to do the medicine back in July. In 2017, I was planning to go to Peru and do it, but then I got some really bad news and I was unable to leave the country, so I ended up staying. And then I had another opportunity come to me, and I decided that unless like the opportunity of ayahuasca actually literally put herself in front of me and said, here you go, I wasn't going to do it. That would be the only time when I would do it. And lo and behold, she appeared and the chance came and I did it. I decided to go for it. I had no expectations. I did no research about it whatsoever. I spoke to a few people who'd experienced it. They just told me about the experience being good. That's all they really said. It was good. So, I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't really put much attention into it. I just thought, okay, this is going to be interesting. But as time got closer to when I was about to go to the ceremony, I was getting more and more into a state of turmoil. I was drinking more and meditating. I was meditating 2 hours a day, and it was still getting pretty difficult. I started to question myself whether or not I was doing the meditation right, and I felt annoyed with myself because I'd just come back from a course and worked my fucking arse off. So, what had happened. But when I came to do the medicine on the first night, I didn't know I was doing it on that night. I thought that was going to be like a chill night and we were only going to do it for one night and then we go home. We were doing it on that night and we were also going to be doing it the following night, which filled me with a little bit of fear. But I was okay. I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. And I must say the people that I did it with were exceptional at taking care and really being able to make you feel like you're safe in an environment because you're doing some really serious work here. And it was awesome to step into a place where I knew that people were there to work, really work. So that really made me feel good. Nobody could have prepared me for the hell though that I went through. The first night, the visions that I was shown on the ceremony were utterly horrifying, and they showed me parts of myself, deep buried memories of myself. We're talking about thousands of past years and lives, and it was interesting because the Vipassana utterly helped with that. It allowed me to create a space which I could allow Mother Ayahuasca to show her in her full glory to me, which she did. And then she showed me some other stuff. She showed me, well, I'll tell you what the intention was first. The intention was on the first night that I want to know why I hate humanity. It was getting to a point where I was in London and working in London, and not only was I hating everyone around me and people, I was hating, apart from the ones that I love obviously, but I was hating everyone else. This state of separateness was really prevalent. Me, myself, ego was just so thick. It was just there. So I thought to myself, why am I feeling like this? And can you please show me why is this the case? And she proceeded to show me, and then what you do is you make the intention and then you just forget about it and then you go into the journey. And she showed me all of the evil that men do and all of the things that I had partaken in order to make myself okay. And she showed me all of the systems of the world that man has created in order to keep power and to keep riches, money, lust, greed, all of those things that desires, those desires that you have that keep us separate and the ego strong. That's what was basically I had in me from lifetimes. And then she showed me like the pure ultimate way to be able to dispel that. And it was by the very simple things in life, the beautiful things in life. Having dinner with your friends and enjoying the moments that you have, really listening to someone, really paying attention to them, giving the time, the beauty of humanity. And she helped me to fall in love with that again, and to appreciate the things that were around me, especially my partner, and the joy and the love that he brings to me. So that was extremely powerful. After the first night, I was utterly traumatized because I couldn't believe what had happened, and I was crying, and I just couldn't believe what I'd seen. And after the next day, we were encouraged to share our experiences, and I felt utterly broken. I felt like my personality had been shattered, and I had no idea of who I was anymore. So, going back into the second ceremony, it was extremely fearful. I was very fearful, very anxious, and I had the opportunity to do something called hape, which I didn't do, and basically it's a very pure tobacco, sacred tobacco, and that's put together with these herbs, and they're basically shot up your nose with a pipe, and that was very, very intimidating for me, so I didn't do that, but instead I just had like a cigarette, but I still was like super anxious about taking it again because I didn't know what Mother was going to show me again. I asked for less this time because the previous night you could go up and you could take like a couple of cups if you wanted to, at intervals of the night. This night was also encouraged. If you wanted to take 3 cups, you were welcome to. I didn't. I just took like literally less because this sort of stuff really kind of like really goes into me and really like I'm super affected and super sensitive. So I ended up taking that, and I could feel her just enter me and just take me over. And my second intention was, how am I going to integrate what I've learnt from this into my daily life? So she showed me again these systems and these kind of like things that men put in place and humans put in place in order to make sure that they're powerful, stay powerful. And I could see everyone during the purging, because there was a lot of purging. We had quite a big group of people, and to hear grown men and women purging, and this is not just being sick, this is like coughing up the depths of your souls, like the things that are attached to it, you're like sicking that up. And I purged not that much at all. I purged very little, but I felt desperately sick. The nausea was really strong throughout the second night. After I had purged the first night, I was okay, but the second night I was just in so much like discomfort. And I asked Mama Ayahuasca, I was like, are you going to leave me or are you going to stay? And she was like, I'm going to stay inside you and I'm going to work inside of you. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So, and I'd have conversations with her the whole time. I would also, see different dimensions, and it would be interesting because I'd just open my eyes and see exactly the same thing. So it was just it would be a lot clearer to see, because it's like almost like a double like image. So you see what you're seeing, and then you see like everything else, and you're like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna close my eyes because there's no point in seeing these two things. And yeah, I'd be in a room where I could see all the purging, and I could hear the people purging, and I could hear the sounds were becoming like visions. It was quite interesting. I also got sounds as well in my ears coming up, so it wasn't just visual stuff, it was auditory, and I got clearly shown how to integrate the love that I have experienced in my life, into my life. And at the very end I got an amazing vision, which was completely supported by the music, which was incredible, and that just helped me to feel humanity again and to feel faith in humanity. So it was a really beautiful experience towards the end. Like, it was like we'd been through this battle and now finally we're together, and love is really the answer. It didn't tell me anything I didn't already know, but sometimes, you know, you can't see your glasses that are on your head, and sometimes you need to be shown in such a stark way for it to really come to light. Afterwards, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it again, but now I think and I feel the call to do it again. Before I went in for the medicine initially, I felt like I was going to be doing it many, many times, and now, if you'd asked me just after I come out, I would have said no way. But like now, I see what she's shown me, and I feel it's important, because what it does essentially is it completely breaks open the shell that we've created around ourselves to protect ourselves, which is the shell of the ego. And I was really lucky, because with Vipassana I'd cleared away a lot of my trauma, a lot of my issues that I had with family, and not to say that they're all healed, but I cleared a lot over the last 5 years that I've been doing Vipassana. And then to go into the Aya ceremonies, she could get in and she could do work. She could do some really, really cool work. And I didn't really think too much of these visions until I spoke to a new friend of mine who's crossed my path, and she confirmed these visions, which I had kind of like been like, oh, maybe it's just all fantasy, you know, it's just like stuff that my head's picked up from all the different spiritual practices that I've done and all of this. It's just all, you know, it's all a mishmash of that, and just made it into a nice story that's frightened the fuck out of me, and I'm just like, yeah. But no, she confirmed everything, and she said, yes, this actually is true. And I was like, oh my god. You know, the synchronicity was just too much to ignore. So all I've been doing recently is just been chuckling to myself when I've just seen things. I've just been like, oh shit. You know, it's just like, oh my god. So it's really powerful the way that this connects to your subconscious. And if you've done the work of Vipassana, they really connect together. They say in the aftercare of the Aya ceremonies and the plant medicine ceremonies is that it's really important for you to be detached and to be in the moment, and there is nothing that really puts you more in that space than Vipassana. So the training that I did in Vipassana completely helped me to be able to sustain this really dark space that I encountered when I went in, and how powerful love is, and so love is really powerful in terms of the guiding light, but also with respect to the systems that are in place, Mother Nature and natural ways and laws are the almighty, and they are the powerful. They will govern everything and anything. So that gave me so much hope. It made me feel so good about life and love, and helped me to really just reconnect myself. Yeah, so that's my experiences. I'm gonna probably do another video on about like how they can both be integrated together, because I've only got 1 minute on this 20-minute video and I don't want it to cut out. But essentially it was an incredible experience. 2020 has started with an incredible bang, and I'm so grateful to the people that allowed me to share this experience with them and who looked after me, and I feel so grateful for all of my friends and family that have been around me to support me in this. So I feel so grateful to have been able to experience this. Please, please, please do your research before you go and do this. As I said, it's not for everybody, and it's the strongest psychedelic known to man, so I would really consider your life very carefully before you even embark on this adventure. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, 10 seconds. I love you loads. Thanks so much for listening, and I really hope that this is in focus, and I'll speak to you very soon because there's just so much more to say. All right.